Normally, I would do a poem or make some rude comment about someone or something that really hacked me off. I also no hat today. It's too hot. I haven't been on for a long time, and I don't know if anybody's except me has noticed that. But today I'd like to read to you a page or two from a book that I've just about finished writing, and I'm getting ready to send off in hopes of getting another one published. It's a little bit better, a little bit different than the other books I've had published, and I like it. I think it's a good book. It's a vampire story, but not your sweetie little lovey bite your neck vampire. It's called The Genevieve Chronicles. In the beginning, when the Creator made the universes, they were eternal and infinite. Each individual universe running parallel to the next ad infinitum, and each is near a duplicate of the one running along all of the others. It is in these parallels that the realities of creation exist. The ones in this parallel exist only as they exist in this parallel, but in no other. What we see here is what we see here, and all that exists here except when parallels bump. It was here within a millisecond of one parallel bumping into another that Genevieve came to be in our world. It was with her arrival that something that had only been in stories and folk tales came into reality. That bump, that tiny atomic touch of two universes, brought the world the one true and real vampire. Now, you probably disagree with the beginning about creation and things like that. I'm just stealing my ideas from myself. The sign on the bookstore window read "Help Wanted, apply within." Even though the hour was late and the street lamps were already on, she stood in front of the door waiting. Soon an elderly man came and opened the bookstore door and said, "Why are you standing out in the cold? Come in, come in. I saw you looking at my sign. Perhaps you're looking for a job, no?" He was small, bent, and smelled of old books, tobacco, and leather. On his face he wore pince-nez glasses that hadn't been in style since the 1800s. She looked at his wizened old face covered in wrinkles and time and still showing a brightness seen only in youth. Stepping into her shop, she nodded her head and said, "Yes, I am seeking employment. I was taken in by your sign, for I have a deep love of books." Her voice was low and soft, like a cool breeze blowing through a forest. He had to strain a bit to hear her low, soft voice. "I am sorry," he said. "I am old and no longer hear too well, so if you speak just a tiny bit louder to me, I would appreciate it." Taking her by the arm, he ushered her into the store and shut the door, locking it behind him. "Don't worry," he said, when she saw her questioning look. "It's closing time. I thought it best we not be disturbed during your interview." Together they walked back towards the small sitting area in the back of the store. There was a small couch, comfortable overstuffed chairs. A little electric heater sat nearby, emitting some warmth. The smell of fresh brewed coffee filled the air like a rich scent of some forbidden flower. Offering her one of the chairs, he asked if she would like to join him in a cup. "I thank you, but I'm not much of a coffee drinker," she replied. "Oh, but this is Turkish coffee. The best there is, in my humble opinion. Are you sure I'd change your mind?" She stared into his eyes and finally, with a tiny smile, said, "Then I must try it. Thank you." Shrugging off her long black wool coat, she sat in the nearest chair. "Would you tell me about the job, please?" she asked. "Oh, of course, I am so sorry. It's been a long time since I had the pleasure of a young, beautiful woman's company. I completely forgot why you were here in the first place," he chuckled, low and dry, more of a cough than a laugh. "Well then, here's about the position I have open. I need someone who can, first of all, understand these crazy new computers to keep my inventory straight, and do just a little bookkeeping on Windows this, Windows that. So many windows I want to jump from one. Then I need that same person to maintain my bookstore while I take a brief vacation back to my homeland." That's all you get. I hope it is interesting enough to want more. I'll try to do some more later on. I don't want to overdo, and I don't want to bore anybody. I think the book itself is, I've had a lot of fun writing it, and like I said, I'm almost finished. It's a little gory. She's not your typical vampire. She's not, like I said, she's not a neck biter. She's not a romantic. She's brutal, and the book itself is pretty brutal. So it's not for the faint of heart, light of stomach, or anything like that. But I wanted you to hear it. I haven't been on in a while. I hope you've had a pretty good summer. I think the weather here in Kansas has been next perfect. And I guess that's all for now. You take care, and God bless you. Bye-bye.